Mr. Chiment,
Hello.
it's so funny seeing you here. Can I sit here?
What are the chances? There's a chair.
So, tell me a bit about yourself. How long have you been teaching at Laguna? What subjects do you teach?
I came to Laguna in 1990. So that's 33 years I've been teaching here. And I teach mainly math and statistics and economics. And I once developed like an entrepreneurship program here and help with some TEDx stuff.
Cool. Can I ask you some questions? Is that all right with you?
Of course.
Okay. These are some quick questions. Think on your feet. You got this. Favorite activity outside of school?
Eating and sleeping.
Favorite surf spot in Santa Barbara?
Hammond's in Montecito.
Okay. Favorite song to play on guitar?
Any kind of blues, 12-bar blues based, anything on that.
Yeah, and if you've been in one of his classes, you've definitely heard him play a few of those. Of course. What are your nicknames?
When I was a little kid, it started with Pollywog because I was small and my name was Paul. And I got really upset in 7th grade, as many 7th graders do, because they want to like establish their identity. I said, you cannot call me Pollywog anymore. So to this day, many of my friends call me Frog.
Frog, wow.
I evolved from a Pollywog.
And here on campus, you're Shimmy.
Yes, on campus I'm Shimmy,
Or
but I've
Chiment.
also been C-Money was another one for many years. Yeah.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
All right, favorite concert you've been to?
I've been to a lot, but probably the most fun I ever had at a concert was a band called Oingo Boingo. I don't know if you guys know Oingo Boingo.
No, never heard.
Oingo, oh, well, you really need. You're in for a treat. This was the early 80s, and they were like bizarre new wave stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'd love to know a little bit about your teaching journey. So what inspired you to start teaching?
I was working at UCSB as an academic advisor when I was like a junior and senior at UCSB. I was an academic advisor for freshmen, and I was just helping people navigate their way through the university. And I just realized I was a math major, and I thought, well, what can I do with math and still help people? So teaching math.
Here you are.
And I didn't know if it would last very long, but 35 years later.
Wow. Wow. And what's your favorite teaching moment at Laguna, if you have one? Do you have any moments that stand out?
I'm not the kind of person that clings to certain moments. Like in my whole life, I don't think I just enjoy the moment. So I try to stay like really present. So, I mean, it's really the day-to-day interactions of just every time walking into the classroom and smiling, saying hi to people, and yeah, just enjoying the relationships and the fun.
Okay, so obviously at Laguna you may move around classrooms a little bit. So what's your staple item that you must have in every classroom you teach in? Because I'm pretty sure I know it.
Okay, so what do you think my staple item?
Being in your class, you love those expo markers. They're not just a pen to you, they're a prop, they're an example. He's always using them.
Yes,
so.
They're a metaphor for my soul, basically.
And those playing cards and stats.
Playing cards. Yeah, definitely playing cards. Definitely a whiteboard and expo markers. I love them. And then I always have a guitar in the classroom, just because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's like my Prozac.
Yeah.
It's like very, very chills me out. And then coffee.
Oh, always.
Always coffee.
Coffee in your Dixie cup.
Yeah, and notice today I'm not using a Dixie cup because I knew I was going to be in this, and it's a little bit classier. I also have a new shirt on, so if everyone can take notice of this brand new, never worn it before, and a cup that has an actual.
Wow, that's amazing. Speaking of guitars, last year as an econ student of yours, I remember you did something fun with the other econ period. Do you want to tell me about that?
We sang the Backstreet Boys. Well, actually, a kid named Freddie and I were supposed to do Wonderwall by Oasis. But then he chickened out and with a few days left. I know, which is not very Freddie of Freddie. But this class stepped up and we did the Backstreet Boys. What was the song?
I Want It That Way.
I Want It. Yes. Yes.
And you guys were, what was your band name? 4X?
I think it was 4X, for foreign exchange markets. Yeah, the 4X band.
So you performed in the talent show with your students?
Yes, and it was amazing. Another one of those highlight moments. Speaking of which, talent shows. I've done many, many talent shows over the years.
So one of my favorite parts of Laguna is all my amazing teachers and the connection that you guys have with each other. So when you're in the faculty room, you know, getting your extra cup of coffee before stats class, who has the best conversations?
Oh, well, there's usually a group of us at lunch because some teachers never come into the faculty.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they'll come in to like.
But it's so nice in there.
I know.
Relaxing, escape from us.
I know. But, you know, there's different kinds of people. Like when you're in college, when you go off to college, there'll be those people in the library that like just study at a desk, and then there's other ones like more social desks where everyone's working together. I'm more of a social guy, so
Yeah.
like I work and interact, and I love when people come in. I can just check in and see how they're doing. So I actually, that's kind of my office. I live in the faculty room. That's where I do all my work, and so because I like to see people coming and going and checking in on them. Things that we talk about everything. I mean, there's no one topic. I mean, obviously students, nothing bad, but just like how people are doing, and then like what they did with their day. It's really not that different than high school. It's like it's the same thing you guys talk about at lunch. Just check in and see how people are doing.
Good community among the teachers.
Yeah, for sure.
Another way that we find community at Laguna is with our sports teams, and I know you love coming to the tennis matches and the volleyball games. What do you think makes Laguna sports so special, and why do you want to come to the games?
Okay, let me tell you a story. I was in Three Pickles, not the old Three Pickles, but the new Three Pickles. Yes. I think on Micheltorena or De La Vina or something. There's a new one. Love it. And this was like 2 days ago, and I just hear this woman taps me on the shoulder. She kind of has some gray hair. She goes, "Are you Paul?" And I go, "Yeah." And I'm like, I didn't know who she was. Yeah. It turned out she was a student of mine in 1990 who was on my 8th grade volleyball team, and she remembered me and she wanted to check in. So I think it transcends sports. It's like that someone, what is that, 33 years ago would remember me coaching her. God, the damage I did. I hope she forgets everything about the volleyball. But that she would like, and then feel comfortable and to remember my first name. And I totally remembered her, and it was like really nice. So it's like sports is just like a way to connect, because we have some championship teams here, but most of the teams don't go to championships. So it's just like a fun way to connect and blow off steam, and then we remember that stuff years later.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Laguna is very special in the sense that we're a small community. So what is it like between the teachers and students? What kind of relationship is there, and do you feel connected to your students?
Yeah, I think that's really what kept me here for 33 years, is because like teachers are still, even though we're like, you know, in our 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, we're still kind of like teenagers at heart. And so I think we need that excitement of the school year, like the prom, the dances, like the exams, just like that feeling. I mean, I've been in a school, living the life of school for a lot longer than 35 years, because I started in 1969 as a 4-year-old going to preschool. So I've lived like the academic world and school setting pretty much my whole life. And just the relationships that are built within that community. And then as a teacher, we were talking about sports earlier, it's like a very complicated relationship. Like when I first got into teaching, I didn't understand the relationship between students and teachers. I just thought, well, I just explain math. But it's kind of like in the sports world, you're a coach. If you're a teacher, you're definitely a coach, because you teach how to become better at something. But you're also the referee, because you're watching them make sure, okay, everyone follow the rules, but you don't want to be a jerk about it. And you're also a cheerleader, because you're like trying to help them emotionally and pump them up. But you're also the opposing team, because you write the tests. Yeah. So the relationship teachers have with students is really complex. It's like almost as complex as parent to child. It's a very multi-dimensional thing. So to navigate it well, and I think the teachers at Laguna do a great job of that, because we are really, really supportive, but at the same time pushing and giving rigor to the academics, and we find that balance really well. Yeah, and I've loved having Chiment as my teacher. You have been great at kind of combining everything you were just saying, of like, obviously I love having you in the classroom, but when you play guitar, or like when you were teaching me how to do bar chords because I didn't know how to do them, I think that I've just been so lucky to have you as a teacher. I'm very, very happy that you would be open to this interview. Yeah, my pleasure. Do you want to play us out? What, should we play some blues? Yeah, we should. Woo!